Attention, attention. All the things you've been swooning after on the LadyGang.com, all of our clothing and beautiful merch. There's a huge warehouse sale happening right now. It's not going to last long, but go over to shop.theladygang.com and you're going to find some epic things. Like you can get a velvet dress for $39. You can get a hat for $10. The swacket is $99. Head over there. There's so much greatness. And you know what? You're welcome.
It's time for a Quickie.
Podcast One presents The Lady Gang, the Hollywood Girl Posse, with Lady Gang Quickie. Here's Keltie Knight, Becca Tobin, and Jack Vanek.
Let's make this quick.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Lady Gang Quickie. I am Becca here with Jack and Keltie.
Hello.
Hello. Hi, ladies.
Valentine's Day is coming up, and our longtime sponsor, Third Love, was like, hey, we're trying to basically rebrand Valentine's Day. Instead of you feeling disappointed and bummed out that you don't have a lover or your lover didn't get you the gift you want or you got all dressed up for him and then the sex was mediocre, whatever it is, we want to rebrand it. And Valentine's Day needs to be a self-love day. You know,
yes.
The expectations are super high. And so I love that we are all in a self-love mode in 2022. And, it's important to practice self-love around Valentine's Day, this time of the year, especially after the holidays, but it's really important the other 364 days of the year. And so, there are so many loves in your life. We were talking about best friend love. I've had best friends that are way more important than Chris.
I thought that was
I didn't want to say it, but it was coming out, so I just said it. Sorry. Best friend love, sister love, you know.
Yeah. Those loves are very strong.
Very strong.
You don't have to live with those people. You can love them from afar.
Which is the best. That's why the relationships stay, they don't crumble.
Yeah. Some of my best friendships are the ones with my friends who live across the country.
Well, and I love the best friendships that you might not talk to them for a few months and you can just pick right up.
Yeah.
You guys, my friend Melissa, she was at Chris and I's wedding. We lived together. She was a flight attendant. I lived in a crash pad with her. We had no money. When I couldn't pay my rent, she gave me $400. We were so broke. And we really went through the fucking New York City Queens, E-train bullshit together. And then since I got married, we kind of lost touch, and I saw her a couple times, and then I hadn't heard from her in a couple years. And I was I got to reach out to her. And I was hey, where are you? Are you coming to LA? Let's hang out. And she sent me a picture, and she was 9 months pregnant. And I was oh my God. And then we just started talking, and it was no time had passed.
Yeah.
It was Queens. It was 2003.
I love that, though. That's the best type of a friendship because you're psychically connected somehow, some way.
Yeah. And I was I'm not even mad you didn't tell me you're having a baby next month. And then you're back with that asshole ex-boyfriend of yours and he's the dad. Whatever. You live your life, girl. You still making mistakes. It's fine.
Yikes.
Yeah. Anyway, no. We're happy for her. Okay, so anyway, today is about self-love. And so last time we did this, we focused on body, and I thought it was very positive. Today, I want to focus on our mind. Mm-hmm. So our brains, those evil little bitches living in our heads trying to ruin everything. Mm-hmm. Becca, what do you love about your mind?
What I love about my mind, and it's getting harder to do this as I get older, but I'm really trying to harness this thing I used to be able to do in my 20s really well. I have a really great approach to disappointment or getting upset or whatever it is. I will only live in that moment for no more than a 12-hour period. Mm-hmm. The next day, I am never waking up with the same bad feelings, negative feelings. I can kind of reset myself and recalibrate. My brain just I don't have to work that hard. Now I'm working harder, but it's a natural thing for my brain to do. And I don't know if it's an avoidance or whatever it is.
We're not going to unpack that. This is a positive segment.
No, but I am happy because I've had friends who go out for an audition and I've been down to the damn wire where I have signed contracts. I know that I could be making tons of piles of money, and I get down to the very end and I find out that it's not my job. Even after that experience, I have one day where I am down, and the next day it's it didn't happen. And I have friends who it is not the case. They continue to wake up the next day, and I feel very badly because that is a shitty way to feel.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely is like some sense of like a compartmentalization where you can just kind of like put it in the box, put it aside, and like not let it spiral and ruin your life, basically.
Yeah, and it's kind of this mentality of, well, I can't change it. So the energy that I would be putting toward that negativity or anxious or anxiety or stress, it's just, it doesn't do anything. It just harms me.
Yeah.
So I like that I have that.
I love that.
Please, baby Jesus, let it stay.
I think it's probably part of you. Like it'll stay
hope.
to some sense.
I'm getting it's getting to a point though, like it'll creep back in the next day, but it'll only like live for, 30 seconds or something. But
Yeah.
and then I'll just shove it back in that.
Hey, that's a real power, though. That's
Push
a real
it
power.
deep down.
Push it
Push it
down
deep
into the
down
sads.
so then one day it will explode.
Deep down, don't you ever come back here.
Jack Vanek, what do you love about your mind?
I love the fact that I am so innately creative, and this is something that I've
love this about
obviously
you.
been my entire life. And I think people with creative minds sometimes don't understand like the gift that it is. Like I'm gonna just like be nice to myself for a second, because things.
That's the whole point.
Yeah,
I know, but it feels.
You don't have
I
to
hate
preface
talking
it.
about
Doesn't
myself.
This is exactly why we're doing this. It feels weird to be nice to yourself. Go
Yeah.
ahead, Jack. Be nice to yourself.
give yourself
there-
compliments.
There's just like a lot of things that come really easy to me when it comes to creativity, and I don't think I ever like really sit down and think about the fact that that is, the really cool thing about my mind that a lot of people don't have, and a lot of people work really, really hard to achieve the same things that come really naturally to me. So that's something that I think I realize as I get older, because sometimes I'll have like a random idea pop into my head, and then 2 hours later, I'm like working on it on the computer and I'm making it come to a reality, where I think a lot of people have these ideas and it's so far-fetched to ever think that you could like make it happen and actually, come into fruition. So that's what I like about myself and my mind.
I like it too, because every time I'm on Canva, because I do love it, it really is the closest that anyone who's not creative can feel to
it's
being
so easy.
creative.
Yeah.
But you should see me. I'm like, how on earth, with all these options and all these things, do you even get to a point where you know what looks good?
Yeah.
That's when you know there's a real difference between Jack and us, Keltie.
100%, because I've on the other project that I'm working on, I've had like people are looking to me and they're like, "You're the idea girl." I'm like, "I'm really not the idea girl. I'm the list girl, but okay, I'll take this on." And I keep having to make Pinterest boards of like inspiration for branding and the logo and the set and all this stuff. And then like it turns out, and I'm like, "Okay, I've got this. Jack can do it." Because like when we first started LadyGang, Jack would be like, "Here's a board called Pink," and it would just be like the fucking coolest shit you've ever seen in your mind. You're like, "Oh my god, I want to be this." And then I put my board together and I'm like, this is a fucking hot dumpster fire. Like, this is so shitty. I don't even want to be here. Like, you just do have this amazing natural brain, and it's such a gift.
The only time I question it is when you have your needlepoint pillows during the holidays.
Yeah, that's when I question it too. I'm like, really, a ski needlepoint pillow? This
But
is
you know
not
what? She's full of surprises. That's why we love her.
That was a real curveball. I don't know how that got into my life, but I love it.
God, it blows my mind every freaking December when that thing makes its journey onto your couch. I just question everything.
I'm thinking of even getting like a custom one that like says like.
But that would be more
But
Jack.
that would be you. That's
Yeah.
Not the
so
Home Goods one that every
weird.
person in
Does
Oregon
it say
has.
gone
Anyway.
skiing or something?
Yes, I needed
just
a
so
lumbar pillow for my couch, and it was the only one I could find.
Okay. All right. Well, in honor, we're still back here. We're still with Third Love. We're doing our minds. We
love our minds.
What I
Love our
love about my
minds.
mind. I love about my mind is that I have replaced the everything's on fire, everything's blowing up, the world is ending brain that I have been born with, that I had learned through my years of whatever. And I really do feel in the past couple years that yes, I had a big anxiety night last night. Did I sleep? No. I was up at 3 a.m. I was like, oh my God, nothing's going to work out. Like everything's a dumpster fire. But then I woke up this morning and I like had a giggle with Chris. Like we were laughing about something. And I was like, you know what? We're all dust. It's not that big of a deal.
Especially your bones.
You love saying we're all dust these days.
Because when I was in the Middle East, there was so much dust and there was so many tombs that I'm just like, oh, wow, I guess we're all dust. Okay, sorry. But
Not yet, but
my
you
point
will be.
is that, like, I love that I'm no longer that meme that, like, the little dog is sitting in the fire and he's like, I'm fine. Like, I was that person that I was like, emergency. The website is down. Like, that's not an emergency. Like, everything's going to be okay. And I have this mantra that I keep saying over and over in my brain. I think it's really helping. I am healthy. I am safe. I am loved. And I can just keep saying it whenever I start feeling that anxiety of my brain trickling up. I'm like, no, you know who controls my brain, Keltie? Bitch, it's Keltie. I am healthy. I am safe. I am loved. And it calms me down. So I love that I have learned how to take care of myself and not, I love my brain for, like, maturing, if you will.
You really have grown so much, and especially in the time that we started LadyGang. Like, you have done not a complete 180, maybe like a 175 in how your brain works. Like, it was usually like every other week there would be some sort of an explosion going on behind the scenes.
It really peaked like
LadyGang
June
TV.
2020.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
June 2020 was the darkest hour of LadyGang. Mm-hmm. It was when the book was coming out and Keltie realized that her dreams of touring the universe had come to an end.
It was a dark time. But listen, here I am. And my
We're
mind
proud
is
of
strong.
you.
Yeah,
I know.
exactly. So anyway, please tell us, LadyGang, what you love about your mind. We're so excited for Third Love. And if you need to, reward your mind for being so great, you can head on over to thirdlove.com and pick up some of their new collections. They have the Deco Lace collection, which is, we were just talking about it offline because it's so beautiful. They sent us like a PDF of everything. It's inspired. It's inspired by the
just throw up in your mouth?
1920s, and it's all lacy and amazing. There's like bodysuits, and like it's just so gorgeous. Sexy 365. And then the washable silk pajamas are so nice. You can wash them. They're super, super soft. Like, I just love all of this. So indulge in yourself this Valentine's Day. Upgrade to everyday pieces that love your body as much as you do. Right now, you can get 20% off your first order at thirdlove.com/LadyGang. That's 20% off at thirdlove.com/LadyGang. Okay, enjoy what's next.
Today's episode of LadyGang is brought to you by Ritual. So we've talked a lot about how we're getting older, and I'm really, really trying to start taking care of my body for real. So I love that Ritual has come on as a sponsor of LadyGang. So gaps in the diet shouldn't be ignored. Over 97% of women aged 19 to 50 are not getting enough vitamin D from their diet, and 95% are not getting enough recommended daily intake of their key omega-3s. So Ritual is essential for women 18 and over. Multivitamin was formulated by exhaustive research to help fill nutrient gaps in the diets of women over 18 years old. It's formulated with nutrients to help support the brain, bone health, blood health, and provide antioxidant support. And the results, essential for women 18 and over, was shown to increase vitamin D levels by 43% and omega-3 DHA levels by 41% in just 12 weeks. So right now, Ritual is offering our listeners 10% off your first 3 months. Visit ritual.com/LadyGang and turn healthy habits into a ritual. That's 10% off at ritual.com/LadyGang.
LadyGang is brought to you by Progressive. What's one thing you'd purchase with a little extra savings? A weighted blanket, a smart speaker, that new self-care trend you keep hearing about? Well, Progressive wants to make sure you're getting what you want by helping you save money on car insurance. Drivers who save by switching to Progressive save over $700 on average, and customers can qualify for an average of 6 discounts when they sign up. Discounts like having multiple vehicles on your policy. Progressive offers outstanding coverage and award-winning claims service day or night. They have customer support 24/7, 365 days a year. When you need the most, they're at their best. A little off your rate each month goes a long way. Get a quote today at progressive.com and see why 4 out of 5 new auto customers recommend Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National annual average insurance savings by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive between June 2020 and May 2021. Potential savings will vary. Discounts vary and are not available in all states and situations.
The Lady Gang.
Hello, ladies.
Keltie, we need to get into what's happening to you right now.
What is happening?
You want to get into it now?
I think we should.
Okay. Recently on the podcast, I discussed that I had gotten a movie offer from Cole Sprouse. to be in his movie. If you remember, I just want to like review. I got an email that was like, hey, Keltie, I think you're a really talented and underrated actress. I would like you to star in my movie. I'm going to give you $30,000. And I knew in my heart that I was destined for stardom. So I was excited about it. I read it. You guys weren't so sure.
Yeah.
And we made it into like a little video that we used to promote the podcast. By the way, if you like this podcast, if you could just share those videos with your friends, like on social media and tag us, that would be awesome. Anyway, so I put the video out just on my Instagram and I wrote and tagged him in each one because it was like 4 parts or whatever, saying like, I'm ready, Cole Sprouse. Like, let me, like, you know what I mean? Tagged him.
Yeah.
How many followers does he have? Like 35 million or something?
35 million, yeah.
Yeah. So
Jesus.
So I just now in the break received a response from Cole Sprouse. I said, I'm ready, Cole Sprouse, and he wrote the crying emoji. This is coming from his verified account.
Yep.
He said, sorry about this. Got some imposter people sending these emails out everywhere.
Oh,
So
no.
I responded, so are you saying it's not you? And he said, unfortunately, the offer does not stand. And I said, all in caps, am I not getting the $30K and the fame?
Oh, my God.
Do you think he thinks you're being serious with these questions?
No,
too?
I think he thinks I'm a smart ass, right? Then, next, the offer does not stand. I said, so I'm not getting 30K and the fame. He said, I'll send a bag of money as an apology for the inconvenience.
Oh, hell yeah.
And I said to Cole Sprouse, wow, I really thought I was something special. And he goes, look for an Amazon drone colored like Santa. You are special. Don't let any fake email convince you otherwise. And I said, thanks, director. Let me know when it's my time to shine. And he hearted it.
You know what? I like him for this.
I am so shocked that you had a full-on conversation with him.
Me
It's
too.
cute, right?
Yeah, what a guy.
Cute.
Do you think it's really him, or do you think he has a social media person that lives
I bet
and
it's
just
him.
is cute?
I bet it's him. He seems like, I've always liked him. He always seemed like he was very like quirky and quick-witted and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
I bet it's him. He's just like, fuck it, I'm going to respond.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to know what I just did? And this is not an ad.
Okay.
What?
I haven't been to the grocery store in a million years. And I was like, I'm so hungry. It's lunchtime here. And I have like a full day of work. And I just made one of our Freshly meals.
Oh, they're so
New
good.
sponsor. They're
so
so fucking good.
Chris ate all of them. We don't even have a kitchen. He makes them in the microwave, and they're still delicious.
That's how you're supposed to make them. 3
really?
minutes. Yeah, in the microwave.
Yeah, they're like a TV dinner, but like adult TV dinners.
It's like a glamorous lean cuisine.
Yeah,
Wow.
so good.
We definitely did not get paid enough for that, but congratulations to you, Becca, on your meal.
I was raised on lean cuisine, and this is really like
I used to eat a fettuccine alfredo lean
Me too.
cuisine
Oh, so
before ballet class. Ooh. Okay. Today is a very special episode of LadyGang. I say that every episode.
Yep.
We are here because I have posted an Ask Me Anything on our Instagram.
Love
and
that.
People have inquiring minds. And so we're here to fucking help you and answer your questions. Are you guys ready?
Let's do it.
The worst advice you've ever been given and why?
Oh, I remember some really bad skincare advice I was given. One of the first like women that I went to go get a facial from, it's when I had like cystic acne. My skin was so inflamed, so fucked up, like painful, itchy, irritated, horrible. I went to go get a facial and the lady's like, oh, you know, the secret to good skin is you have to splash your face with 6 times of water. She's like, you're just not splashing your face with water enough. And she literally thought that that is what was going to clear my cystic acne up. An esthetician told me this.
Did you try it?
Yes, I did.
How long did you splash before you realized this was f***ing bullshit?
For months. And I was like, I was lied to. But I always remember that as being like, I can't believe I was given that advice by like a professional.
Does anyone successfully wash their face without getting everything wet in like the countertop, their sleeve?
No.
So here's an idea for a LadyGang product.
I need it.
A bib.
No, it's not a bib. Like, what I need is like a face palette that attaches onto the sink.
Yeah.
And so when it's time to wash the face, it takes the water out of the tap and does a light sprinkle, like almost like a sprinkler on your lawn for your face.
Oh,
Just takes
like a
the
water fountain.
and gives like you just a little, like a
Wow.
bidet for your face, a bidet.
Fide.
You know, where it just sprinkles you up and then helps you, and then it all can go in the sink. Because yes, Becca, I agree.
It's annoying.
And you got to get it clean. You can't just use the towel because that's just remnants of dirt.
I know.
You got to get those 6 splashes in, you know?
Becca, worst advice you've ever been given.
Oh. I don't know if this is advice. Well, yeah, totally. When you're going through fertility stuff and you're talking to other people about it, people who haven't had fertility struggles, and they say something along the lines of, if you just relax, it's
Oh my
going to
God.
happen. Or when people are like, watch this, you're going to go through all this fertility stuff, and then one day, just out of the blue, you're going to have a baby. I need everyone to take this out of their repertoire. Like,
Yeah.
there is actually nothing worse to say to a woman than that.
Or like, you should just like pray about it or something.
Yeah, pray about it and just, could you meditate? You know, just like get really relaxed. Your body just needs to be relaxed. I'm like, totally. So that was bad advice, because if I had just waited and waited and waited, if I would still be, you know, square one if
Yeah.
I just relaxed.
You would just
know?
be really good at yoga at this
So
point.
good.
You know what I
People
mean?
are idiots.
She's so chill. My worst advice I ever got, and I write about it in our new book, Lady Secrets, is the agent that told me that if I wanted to be famous, I should go on The Bachelor.
Well, you honestly, Keltie, you could have. You're just a little, you're like a couple years too early.
It's true.
But now it's like these women are too late now. I think people are
It's too
going on The
late.
Bachelor now to like
Get
be
famous.
influencers.
It's too late. They
It's
missed
too
out.
late.
They
There
missed
was
out.
like it was like the Cassie, the Hannah Brown, like that kind of
That was the era.
realm was the time, and then now it's
Ellie
Nobody cares.
Fedotowsky. I mean,
Exactly.
OG.
Okay. Megan wants to know Jack wedding planning update.
no update at all. I'm kind of just dreading everything. But I'm still thinking March 2023-ish in a beachfront villa in Mexico. That's as far as I have gotten. And I'm looking at wedding dresses, but that's it.
Fabulous.
Yes.
Love
How
it.
to be nice to my mom while planning the wedding. Here's what I'll say about moms in general. I've done a lot of therapizing on this, is that you have to go into it with compassion for your mama, because she's probably holding on really tight about her opinions on your fucking napkins and your dress and your invitations and who should come and her guest list and all this stuff because of like some past trauma in her life. Like I know that sometimes my mom hangs on really, really, really tight because she lost her mom when she was in college and she never got to have her mom at her wedding or in her adulthood and help her with her kitchen dishes and the Thanksgiving meal. And so she holds on really tight because of her trauma. And so I think in anything like this, especially with weddings and those big family events, just have compassion that like your mom is losing her mind because of something with her and it's actually nothing to do with you. I remember the morning that I married Chris, my mom was like in a fucking tizzy. I had no bridal party. Like it was very chill. We were getting ready at my house. Like she was in a tizzy and I had to grab her shoulders and I said, Mom, I love you. Let's enjoy today. This is the Zen zone. We're Zen about this. And she was like she just calmed down.
Yeah.
You know, so sometimes it's not about, you can't control her. You just have to love her through it. My thoughts.
Yeah. Compassion. It's inevitable. Like it's bound to happen. I find that with my mom, when we don't see eye to eye, there's no point in engaging and fighting it out. It's just easier to be like, okay, we're going to just disagree on this and it's my wedding. So we're going to land where we land on it. I take what you're saying. I'm going to take it in and think about it. But at the end of the day, but also, is your mom paying for your whole wedding? Because
I was
really,
thinking that, yeah.
don't be a dick. Let her in if she is. That's the price you're paying. Because there's no such thing as a free lunch or a free wedding.
I definitely think that this question, that definitely matters. It's like if your parents are paying for the whole wedding and your mom wants to have her opinion in things, it's like you're going to have to let her have her opinion in things because they're fronting the check.
Yeah.
But if not, it's like you can have a bigger boundary. If you're paying for the whole thing or whatever, your partner is wealthy or something like that, and they don't have any monetary like input, then, you know.
Jack, when you get married, do you think your dad will have the handy cam out during the wedding filming it? Or do you think he'll be present and like there for real because there's a professional videographer?
I don't know.
Like,
I feel like it's such an innate
video at our Austin show, and you were like, "My vagina is sore," and he was like, "Let me get a close up."
Well, that's like his whole that he has this innate thing in him that he has to like document it for himself. But the funny thing is, especially like now with like the iPhone and stuff, like all of the things that he takes are so bad. Like there's like the quality is horrible. He loses them all. I could be like, "Dad, can we get like the video from Christmas when this happened?" And he would not be able to find it.
No.
But he has to do it. So I feel like even though if I would tell him like, hey, we have a professional videographer and photographer, like he would be like sneaking it out just because he has to.
Can't wait to see this.
Oh my God.
I love it so much. Okay, what do I do when Holly says, what do I do when I'm in a bad mood and my partner wants to have a good time?
Like in what way?
I think she means sex.
Oh. I mean, you're not obligated to have sex with him just because he wants to at that moment.
Yeah. Just don't.
If you're in a bad mood.
Often in a bad mood. Yeah. But here's the thing. You train him, because I now am at a point, unfortunately, I'm just going to say this. Chris is going to hate it. Like, I've trained Chris now to never make the moves on me because I say no all the fucking time. And now I'm like looking at him and I was like, do you still think I'm hot? Do you still like?
Oh,
why haven't you?
You did it to yourself.
I did it to myself. So this is like a very slippery fucking slope, Holly.
No, you got to let him come after you still, and just shoot him down 90% of the time.
Zach has a good ratio going. Like, he kind of knows that he can't ask every time he wants it, because that would just be heartbreaking to hear no. He's really good at figuring out the temperature, you know, if it's going to be the right time, so that I'm not put in a position where I have to really say no often.
Jared constantly is asking for it. But his feelings don't get hurt when I say no most of the time. Because we've also had this conversation. He's like, "Would you want me to, stop?" And I was like, "No, I like want to feel wanted like every second of the day." And it doesn't annoy me or bother me, but we have like a good agreement going on, I think.
That's actually a really nice dynamic, because the only time that doesn't work is when they take it personally. So
and they
it's
get offended. Yeah.
They get offended. The ego gets bruised. But if you have an understanding that he's just going to keep asking, you like that he keeps asking.
Yeah.
And he's okay with asking and hearing no a lot of times.
Yep.
Yeah,
Until
I gotta bring that in.
It only takes one yes.
Because I'm
It only takes one yes, and then they're like, "It worked."
I know. I was watching Yellowstone, and the like sister or the daughter in Yellowstone has like she's hot, but like she's elder, not elder, but like she's older. She's like my age, but she's hot. Like, I'm very attracted to her. She's amazing boobs too, which we don't have over here. But
incredible.
But I was like, I need you to pause this. And then I looked at Chris and I was like, do you find that woman attractive? And he was like, I don't know how to answer this. And I was like, I find Kevin Costner in Yellowstone very attractive. Like, and he's like, yes. And then I was like, so she's sexy? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, so like an older lady can be sexy? And he was like, it's not about the age. He's like, I don't just think 19-year-olds are hot, Keltie. Like, I was like, oh, thank God.
That would be an issue. Yeah.
I once had a boyfriend who was talking to an older gentleman in his like 70s or 80s. And this older gentleman said to my boyfriend, he goes, I have really bad news for you. I think I might have told this on the podcast. Apologies if I had. He goes, we are always going to be attracted to young women.
Okay, not a question, but had a dream. Me, Jack, and Jerry were sledding in kayaks all over my hometown.
Sledding in kayak.
Sledding in a kayak?
That sounds dangerous.
Diana.
Wow, that sounds. It's like a luge.
Eliza says, "Who's the snorter on the podcast? I love it so much."
90% of the time it's Keltie. Jack occasionally.
I have a snort occasionally.
But Keltie's is definitely the most prominent.
Yes.
Oh, wait, she wrote another one. Hold on. It was the happiest dream. We were sightseeing and had dogs in our kayaks. Top 3 dreams of life.
Oh my
That
God.
is a good dream.
This sounds incredible.
It does.
It's so
I love that
innocent.
She went back to the story twice to write in twice.
Oh my God.
So
Amazing. I would love to hear about your experiences moving away from home. Well, thanks for asking. Becca?
I moved away from home after my senior year of high school that summer to New York City. I fucking hated the first 4 months of being there. I was like, I made the biggest mistake of my life, but I couldn't admit that to anyone because everybody had worked so hard to get me there physically, financially, emotionally. And it was so brutal. And I had a roommate who would steal my clothes and all the time have weird orgies in them. And
In the clothes?
She was a very dark person. Very, very terrifying. And it was pretty much pretty terrible. And then I became friends with some good people, and that's when it turned around. But I don't think anybody leaves home. I mean, you might feel differently, and is just stoked. I made the best decision ever. I think it's scary. You just push through.
Yeah, I agree. I had 2 versions of moving home because the first time, so I left home, I got this job on a cruise ship in high school, and then I met my first husband. And so I felt like I was living on a cruise ship, which is like camp. It doesn't feel like you're not settled anywhere. So for 2 years, I was just traveling around the world, and it kind of felt like my home was still in Edmonton. And then I had this crutch. I moved to New York, but I moved with him, and his family was there. And so I wasn't on my own. So I actually feel like when I was 21 and I left him and then was living in the flight attendant crash pad and then on the Upper West Side with the dog that got its period on our white couch from Craigslist every month, and had 6 roommates, was living in the closet in the twin IKEA bed, and I would try to have sex in the kid bed. And anyway, that's when I feel like I was on my own, and it's fucking terrifying. But there's something so beautiful about that time in your life. You just have to, I always told Chelsea this too when she was with us, you just have to lean into it. It's okay to not have it all figured out, and it's okay for it to not feel safe or easy or right. You just need to be fucking the messiest, horrible, fucked up person. It's just a rite of passage. So I hope you're terrified when you move away from home, when you go to college, when you have your first big girl apartment, when you have your first big girl job. I hope you feel terrified. That's what makes you as a human.
And usually if you're uncomfortable, you're going to grow.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's it. There's a ton more. We'll do more of these. This is a really funny question. I'm just going to end on this. What will Becca get in exchange for doing the second book?
Great question. I would like...
She'll get a good payout.
I mean, I do think I should maybe get something extra, like a bonus, because...
Go yourself.
It's pretty annoying, and I'll tell you what else I hate. Doing the press regarding the book.
I hate that too.
It is fucking awful.
That's the best part.
I hate press in general. It's not my...
Guys, remember when both of your parents came with us to the Today Show?
Oh my God. That was so funny. My mom has never been more excited in her life.
Wait, was it your mom?
My mom.
Becca, your
And
mom
my
was
parents.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody came except for
there?
Keltie's
My
parents.
I didn't invite them. Oops, my bad.
Yeah, the book, anybody, feel free to suggest some things that the girls could get me, like maybe jewelry or some handbags.
Plural.
Handbags. I actually think I'm out of my handbag stage. My face.
Me too.
You're going back to like a normal.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's like, I mean, they're great and I appreciate them, but if you were to give me like $2,000, the last thing I would go spend it on would be a handbag. Whereas in my 20s, I would have been like, oh yeah, I'm going to go to Neiman Marcus and buy a bag.
Yep.
Like a loser.
Well, now it gets you like a good fridge or something.
Well, that's the thing.
Wow, I got a stovetop. Okay, we weren't here for a long time. We're here for a good time.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening. The Lady Gang is produced by Alex Ingber, Steve Delameter, and Jared Monaco. Make sure you subscribe, rate, and review our podcast. And if you love it, share it with your friends on social media. Like, oh my God, I just listened to Lady Gang. This episode's so great. Swipe up to listen. And if you really want to, which we know you do, please follow us on social. At Keltie, at Becca, at Jack Vanek, and at The Lady Gang. Sign up for our newsletter at theladygang.com and join our secret Facebook group. It's super fun. See you next Tuesday.